Right size, the class size amendment, voters may get to decide again. Marco Rubio may be ahead in the polls, but Governor Crist says doing his job is the best politics, and GOP circles are in shock about how much money they paid their former director without knowing. All of that on Power Play today with our guests, Bill Cotterill of the Tallahassee Democrat and Mike Vasalinda of Capitol News Service. So Senator Don Gates and Representative Will Weatherford, flanked by all sorts of folks from public education, say it's time to right size, class size, and revisit the prescriptive amendment that now is choking the state budget.
I think they won't have too much trouble getting 3/5 majorities in the House and Senate. The Democrats, I believe, numerically have enough to stop it. But getting it to the ballot, once it's on the ballot in November, it'll require a 60% public vote, which it will be a hot topic. And there's going to be ballot clutter. There are 6 amendments up there now, probably at least 2 more coming with the union card check thing that they want to put up, and now this. There may be too many amendments on the ballot, and this could get lost among them.
Yeah, but Mike, the teachers union, which staked its reputation on winning this vote in 2002 on the statewide ballot, is probably going to dig in on this, but they don't have every classroom teacher on their side.
Well, no, but you know, this is the battle they've been fighting since it was approved. I mean, there's been attempts to get rid of this. I think this helps Kendrick Meek. It gives him a chance to get out there and campaign on what he campaigned on in 2002, take credit for getting it there, and I think it's going to be a tough fight to get 60% of the vote.
It is. The irony is that the vote that passed this in 2002 wouldn't be enough today, but frankly, the whole world has changed since 2002. Florida's economy is in the tank, and voters know that, so they will be educated about this by the proponents of the revision.
And I'm not sure Kendrick Meek wants to remind everybody that he's chiefly responsible for this, what is it now, $18 billion that it's cost us so far, and is throttling the schools. If I'm running for the U.S. Senate, I don't think I want to go around admitting to being the father of a great liberal cause.
When parents all over the state hear from principals of their kids' school that double class sessions, doing away with electives are probably on the table if this stays.
The irony here is that all of that will hit in August and the vote is in November, and I think it's time pretty shrewdly to you know, tell the horror stories starting in August.
Okay, turning political like that wasn't. In recent polls, not just straw polls, but in statewide polling by Quinnipiac, Marco Rubio apparently now has passed Governor Crist in voter standing among Republicans in this primary for the U.S. Senate. Is that for real?
Yeah, it is for real. I think it doesn't bode well for the governor, but I think he's going to try and get himself back on track. He's got to do what I said here a couple of months ago, start being governor, start really trying to govern. You know, interesting enough, he lost a straw poll here in Leon County this week, and the last poll I saw had about 70% approval rating in this county.
Yeah, but the governor still is the governor, and there's no better bully pulpit, and the best politics is good policy. Do the job well, which he's trying to do.
Well, he's going to need a good legislative session, something to brag on there, and as you say, to show leadership, as he has said, to govern. But the momentum is so clearly with Marco Rubio now. I really think that Governor Crist needs a rally.
Well, but Governor Crist has also made a career in statewide elected office of being underestimated by people who are his opponents, and that might happen this time too.
Well, I think he could come on and finish strong. He does have to start doing his job, but you got to remember the legislature's not going to help him. They all voted for Marco Rubio to be speaker, at least the juniors and senior class up there in the House.
Well, it's going to be an exciting political year. Meanwhile, Republican political circles are in shock about the gargantuan salary, more than $400,000 for the 30-year-old exec director, former of the Republican Party of Florida. Stunning number, makes a Democrat want to go for the job.
Indeed. I think what has to happen there is John Thrasher has to come into that party. He has to open those books. He has to show everyone the credit cards. He has to say we're going to get this spending under control. And he really has to do a top-to-bottom audit for the donors of the party so that they feel good about coming in and giving money again.
And perhaps worst of all is this comes on top of the controversy over, what was it, $174,000 in charges for Ray Sansom's American Express card on the party when he was speaker. It's hard for the party to reach out to people who are out of work, people who are struggling to make ends meet and say, we care about the working families of Florida when we're paying a guy $408,000.
Yeah, you got to be brilliant at 30 to make that kind of money, and I've never heard that Del Mar was accused of being brilliant.
And not disclosing it. $408,000 in contracts that were not disclosed to the the guys at the head table at those quarterly meetings.
Surely to be investigated beyond just Republican Party circles. We're going to go to your respective power play of the week. Michael.
I'm going to use a prerogative to pat Steve Andrews at WFLA-TV in Tampa on the back. He uncovered more than $120,000 in abusive spending by the Tampa Workforce Board. I just came from a committee meeting. Senator Fasano is demanding that money be paid back, and this is proof that investigative journalism is alive and well.
Good for it. Bill?
I would go with the House Appropriations Committee, which took the budget that the governor proposed last week, virtually shredded it, went through it, calling it far too optimistic. Representative Ron Saunders, the incoming minority leader, said that if they pass the budget as it stands now, the next legislature would have a $5 billion hole to fill.
Gaping hole. Okay, I'm going with Will Weatherford and Don Gates taking the hill on class size. Bill Cotterill, Mike Vasalinda, thank you both very much. For the latest political news, go to the Safety Review, and we'll see you next time on Power Play.